So let's start again. Jacqueline, welcome to Utah Valley University. I actually didn't
Thank
say that
you.
the first time. We're going to turn, we just watched your film, Europa. We're going to turn it over to students for questions.
Let's do it. Thank you, Duane.
Oh, get this. Oh, please say your name and where you are in school. And that sort of thing.
Okay. Hi, I'm Brianna. I'm a senior at UVU in the directing track. So I just thought it was a really fantastic, like very well shot short. I just had a question. So the scene where Yvette and Mother Nature, I guess, or Europa are reaching out to each other, was that inspired by something biblical or like the creation of Adam? And why were you inspired to put that in the short?
Wow, what a great question. And congrats on your directing career coming up. Um, I was very inspired by, you caught it, Mother Nature. You know, I think there was a clip in the film where you see her hand and you see that water lives within all of us, and it's almost this symbiotic relationship. And I really loved the idea that in that moment, that's the real creation. There are spiritual creations, there are biblical creations, but there's a scientific creation of the fact that we cannot exist with these. That's what the whole film is about. We can't exist without each other, and we take that for granted so much. And so then to do that to a being like the ocean or or water that physically and literally has no way of defending itself, um, kind of was foreshadowing to the fact that she was not going to betray it. So I really wanted that moment. I'm so unhappy with the way the clip turned out because my animator is so great and he made a different version of it that was much more ambiguous. And my post producer was like, that is the one to go with. And this one, I like it, but it's so obvious. And the other one was much more subtle. Like, wait, is that the creation of Adam? This one's like very clearly that. So if I could go back and make the film again, I think I would go with the more ambiguous route. But I was doing it because the other films I've made, I always feel like, oh, I wish I could have that still frame of exactly what I want in my head when I was writing it. And that's kind of how I saw it. Ironically, it has become the image that we use. So I think it helped in that way. But in the film, yeah, I think I would have rather the audience been like, I mean, I'm so glad you asked that question, and a lot of people do when they watch the film, but I would have rather been so unclear if that's what it was. I think it is clear that we were kind of going for that. But yeah, I don't know, a lot of the movie is about who created who came first, We did not live on Earth for very long in the scope of the universe. We were created after the universe, so it was kind of that moment of we are very small in the big picture in the history of time. So I wanted the ocean to have the upper hand, but in the gentle way that it never needs to impose it.
Thank you for answering my
Yeah,
question.
absolutely.
Hello, Jacqueline. My name is Porter. I'm a junior doing the general track here at UVU. I loved your short film. I'm a huge sci-fi fan, and it being sci-fi, it has a lot of visual effects. And I was wondering, what is it like having to have creative conversations with a visual effects artist to make sure that your vision is met?
Yeah, so I was very lucky. I was able to work with a concept artist, a guy named Ethan Luong. He really brought the film to another level. I'm very proud of him. It just got nominated actually last night for something for visual effects, so it's really nice to see the team getting their flowers. Um, but yeah, I do think the level the level of intensity in which I made sure that we were on the same page before any VFX artist does anything was so important to me, because it's the render time and the, one day of going in the wrong direction can cost a lot of morale for the team also. It's so much work and it's so creative that there was one artist that I told him, you know what, just do what you think is right for the scene. And he did, and it wasn't right for me. And so I asked him, oh, it's actually not exactly what I'm looking for. I gave him another note, and he did something else, and it was still beautiful, but not the right film. And so I eventually did tell him, okay, this is exactly what I want. And I think that that was a kindness. So I think going forward, working with VFX, it is a collaboration, but I think being as direct as possible and as specific as possible, and then letting people play within the paint by numbers is going to be a kindness, because I think he was very diplomatic, but I know it pissed him off for a second. He told me. So yeah, but he's like, if there's something you want, just tell me and I'll just do it. And I'm like, no, it's okay, you're so talented. He's like, yeah, but there's something you want. So I think, yeah, I learned like it is a kindness to your team to be super specific. My favorite shot, one of my favorite VFX shots in the film, is that wide shot of space. And that was a team I met on LinkedIn. Oh no, I met them on Instagram. They're in Germany. I've never met them in person. And I found them myself because I was so blown away by the stuff that they were working on. And I just cold reached out to them, and that's been a really beautiful relationship. So, yeah,
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
absolutely. Go forth and conquer.
Hey, I'm Caleb. I'm in the hey, it's good to meet you. Whatchamacallit, I'm in the cinematography track, and I was just noticing like the story was really captivating and the visuals were so artful. And it just made me wonder, it seemed like you had like a really strong message to tell, and it could have been told in so many different ways. And I loved the route that you chose. What led you to choosing sci-fi as the vehicle through which you like told this story?
Ooh, wow.
That's like a
Um,
really big question. Feel free to
no,
simplify
I
if you
love
want.
that. I love that. I think I just love science fiction so much, and I'm always the first person to buy my ticket for Dune. And yeah, I loved Star Wars, and 2001 Space Odyssey is one of my favorite films. So I think whenever I have an opportunity to make something sci-fi, that just feels natural to me because I love it so much. Um, yeah, I mean, there's a feature-length version we're writing of this, and
Oh,
it's
wow.
much more like it is sci-fi, but there's a more drama components to it, more like Arrival.
Cool.
The whole first third of the movie is kind of like a Hunger Games fight to be the people chosen to be on the mission. Um, so that's going to be fun to film one day. Um, but yeah, I think I just really love the capabilities of science fiction, because you're basically taking this audience on this incredible journey, but you're also saying, hey, this didn't happen yet, dot, dot, dot.
Uh,
I think that that's how I feel when I watch Dune. That's how I felt when I watched, so many different like apocalyptic movies. It's like, hopefully this doesn't happen is always like the voice in the back of the head. And I knew I wanted to create these beautiful worlds. Like, very grateful we got to screen it at Europa Clippers annual summit in Colorado, and so it was interesting to screen it for a room of scientists who have dedicated their life to Europa, and hear what they had to say. And I think that they were my favorite audience of the film, because they're so excited about the idea of being able to set foot on the moon there. So,
that's
yeah.
beautiful. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
Absolutely. And look out for our film. I think we might be on this. So, yeah,
Oh,
you can use it for your sci-fi films. Do you do sci-fi?
oh man, I wish I mean, I'm trying. Yeah. Yeah, in the
Yeah.
process of
It's fun for cinematographers for sure.
It's gorgeous. Yeah, your guys' cinematography was fantastic.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you. I'll
it's
pass
been a
that on.
pleasure. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a pleasure chatting.
Nice to meet you.
Hi,
Hello.
my name is Catherine. I am a junior, and I am going into the directing track. And I have to say, the shots were beautiful,
Oh, thank
and I
you.
loved the beats and the music and everything. And I loved how smooth and how I could understand the short film. It was just wonderful. I absolutely loved it.
Oh, thank you.
And my question is that what message were you hoping to share or express to the audience?
Um, I want us to start having conversations about, um, I think it's okay to be up there. I want to be up there. I want to know that the scientists are leading that. I think the message is we're doing these things, but why? Is it at the on is it ever at the expense of our own planet survival? Because I think that so many survivalist mindsets are incredible, and it is going that direction with space exploration, and I'm all for that. But at a certain point, where do we look at our human impact and our footprint? Um, and are scientists always involved in those conversations? Because they really need to be. Um, when you do something in space, is it going to affect and ripple out to Earth? You know, these things that we don't talk about because they seem so far off. Kind of like nobody talked about global warming, and it's very hot now. So these things that, seem very far away, but it's not maybe not going to be our children's generation, but it's going to be the one after it for sure. That are going to answer to these decisions that we're making now. So I think people are starting to realize it's our planet. Like, what are our decisions here? But they're. I mean, I'm in the chats. I'm in the conversations. The conversations have kind of shifted into, well, yeah, that's always been a problem on Earth. But what about this other place that we can go? So I'm all for those conversations to take place. I just think I would love if they take place with some transparency.
Yeah, I understand. Well, thank you and
Mm-hmm.
great job. Thanks.
Thanks. Thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Hey, Jacqueline.
Hello. How are you?
Hey, doing all right?
Hold on. A little technical thing here. It's the first time we've done this semester, and I keep forgetting things,
All good.
such,
All good.
such as when I'm recording this, I need to pin you so that we're not looking at our students. So, because we don't want to look at you.
Thanks, Duane. So I'm a fan of sci-fi myself as well, and I really enjoy sci-fi horror like Alien and the Thing. And when
Yeah.
the movie first started, I was wondering if that was the direction it was going because the beginning is very suspenseful, like lots of really dark shots, and I thought that was really cool. And then I felt like you turned it on its head from like cosmic horror to cosmic happiness, cosmic contentment.
Oh, thank
And
you.
I just I thought that was a very neat aesthetic that you create. And I'm wondering, uh, excuse me, what brought you to that aesthetic for the Europa character? Like what kind of
Yeah.
inspired those visuals and that character design, I guess.
Yeah. Well, because I'm a writer director, I think it's a unique thing where, I get to write something that is very like visually in my head already. Um, when I wrote this, I wrote it so quickly, I had no idea what Europa. I mean, I had seen pictures, but I didn't know exactly what Europa looked like. So I just tried to write from. Even now, no one knows exactly what Europa looks like. The pictures from NASA are beautiful, but we don't have those really clear, accurate, color accurate. We haven't landed there yet. So um, it's hard to know. But yeah, I mean, I wrote from the feeling of what I wanted it to feel like. I mean, imagining anyone who goes out to space in general, like any astronaut, to me is so brave and crazy at the same time, because the amount of things that can go wrong in at any given second on any mission, it's so incredible to honestly like risk your life in that way. And so I wanted the beginning to feel like they were not going to land successfully. Something was going to go wrong. And yeah, it was a very different score initially before I met Scott, because it just was this very operatic, like godly, kind of like 10-part dissonant, really beautiful and then dissonant harmony of just those wide shots. But yeah, I don't know. There was something like also like territorial about them being there. And so I wanted it to feel like almost like Pirates of the Caribbean. It's like these are conquering people, and instead of taking over a ship, they're taking over a moon. And once they were there, I think like the relationship with nature is so beautiful that it overpowered anything that um, could have been territorial, because basically nature wants to give, so it invited them in. And I think that's why it felt like maternal. It felt like a womb. It felt like um, a celestial being. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to. I think the story tells you what it wants to be too, as a director. It's just like a matter of like, okay, what's the emotional beat here? What is the character arc? And like the character arc, one of the biggest characters was Europa as an entity. So that I think that was part of the journey. But yeah, I love Alien too, and I love those movies. And there's a scene in Contact too that was always in my reference book, um, with Sigourney Weaver. But yeah, I don't know. I just love those movies so much. So it was really just a kid in a candy shop to make this one.
Well, it looks so cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Audrey. I'm a
Hi, Audrey.
writing major, writing
Cool.
senior year. So yeah,
Awesome.
I was super interested in the sound of your film, and you talked a little bit like about it with your last question, but there's so much dissonance in the sound, even with like some of the lighter or more hopeful parts, and I wanted to know what like prompted that direction kind of musically for you.
What part are you talking about specifically?
I think there are parts like when Europa is talking to like the astronaut lady, like some
Yeah.
parts are quiet, but there's still that like dissonance and tension there. And it was interesting to me because parts that I think that people would usually like categorize as more hopeful, you left that dissonance in there, right? So there's like some unresolved like resolution.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I just always wanted it to be clear that she was gonna destroy this place if she, you know. Also, because I think the whole time, Europa's a smart being. That's why it's kind of like this premonition reflected in the water. It's kind of like that scene from Lion King, like, Simba, we are all around you. There's this all-knowing presence to that scene, and I think that inspired me of like, there's this all-knowing presence of Europa, so it
Mhm.
knows, it's waiting, it knows that it's testing her the whole film. So I think the dissonance actually comes from it and not her. Um, because I don't think as humans we can understand ourselves very well,
Mhm.
especially when it's something like, oh no, I wouldn't do that. I'm not like that person. Like no, no, no. So I think like the dissonance didn't come from her because she didn't think I could never sell out this thing that I care about. It came from like it's like those situations where you're maybe in a friend group and this person shouldn't be doing this. This shouldn't be doing this, shouldn't be doing this. And you know what's going to happen if that person does something, but you can't say anything because they have to learn, or they have to tell you themselves. So I think that was like kind of the inherent conflict of the film is nature versus human nature. Nature always knows. Humans don't know anything. We just pretend to know everything. Even being there, it's not the right move necessarily at that time for why they were there.
Mhm.
I believe truly these missions should happen. I think I really support them when I've met these scientists and they're amazing people and I trust them. So I do believe these missions should happen. But in this film, it's like they're not the people who should be doing it. And so I think nature knows that and it's just waiting for her to explain. Like that's why that part when she admits everything and after she sees that premonition is very quiet. And then, it's like the first time in the film that it's very, very quiet and you just hear the waves. It's almost like this, almost like the scene after a breakup when there's nothing left to say,
Mhm.
but everything is understood. And then she does end up saying the problem and she's like, I'm the problem. So I think after that, it was kind of, you are the problem, but I trust you anyway because you can admit that. So here's this opportunity to do that. But yeah.
Such an interesting way to characterize it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Good luck with your writing.
Thank you.
Hey, Jacqueline, we got a couple more. Is that good?
Yeah, that's fine.
Hi, I'm Liz. I'm a cinematography major.
I love.
Um, hi. And your visuals were like so beautiful and cool. And
Thank
I
you.
was just wondering, like, in your creative process when you're making like the shot list and everything, do you kind of go for like the sky's the limit approach and just do like whatever your dreams are, or do you kind of like know the limits of your team before you start doing it? Or
I mean, I try to go for the sky's the limit. I think that's a really good place to start. If you're doing that and you notice it's not doable, someone will let you know. Um, so I don't know. It's harder to go there after you're not starting there. So yeah, I mean, my storyboards are very detailed. Um, you know, yeah, they're always really detailed, and I try to share that with my DP before they even start working on it. And then we kind of make that list together. But I always make every director is different, but I always want it to be like exactly how I see it in my head. So I do storyboards for every single beat of the film.
okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
absolutely.
Hi, I'm Danny. I'm a junior also in the directing track. There's a
Hi,
lot of us
Danny.
here.
Nice, nice.
I also love the visuals of your movie. I thought it was just really fun in general.
Thank you so
Um,
much.
I know someone asked about the visual effects, but I wanted to ask about like the practical side.
Yeah.
How much of the movie was like a practical set that you guys built? And like for the costumes, I think they're amazing. Did you guys make them or did you find them somewhere?
Yeah, so the costumes were real space suits that a costume house had. They were actually very heavy, so after every take, the actors had to sit down for about 2 to 5 minutes um, between every take, just so that their bodies could handle it. Um, I chose to go with those suits because they were the only ones that looked real. And also, I thought it might be easier for them to emulate the gravity if they were a little bit weighed down in the suit. There's a behind the scenes video that I can send to Duane that really shows you how the set was built. It was Sony made it. It's about 9 minutes of their marketing team, and it's the behind the scenes of the project. Um, I would say, it was motion capture, so the camera's tracked to all the sensors, but the virtual build had to match. My production designer is so great. She worked on Mufasa and she worked on Mandalorian and Rebel Moon and all these other. She's on the first Lilo and Stitch and she's on the second one right now, and she's so great. So I really trusted her. But she scanned the real rocks that we were using on the set. She painted them or put tinfoil over them so she didn't destroy them, painted them blue, scanned them, and then we added them into the virtual environment so that they were the same exact rock. And then once it was in the virtual environment, they like changed the shape to make it subtly different, or they would, it's a 3D scan, so they would maybe like turn it around. And that's how the practical set matched the Unreal set. It's much easier to fix the color in the video game to match the actual set. But yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of color tests because not only, when you're filming, you have the LUT or whatever in a camera, but now you also have to have, it's less about that. It's choosing, okay, how do I make sure the foreground and my background are the same color? So you have these they call it swatches of color that they just hold up. So it's very VFX heavy to make sure that the all the colors are in every dimension, like foreground, background, and then also what the actors are going to wear. Nothing pulls focus in a way that you don't want it to. So even with this production, there are just as many test days and build days. There are more test days and build days than actual like shoot days. So the whole surface, that wide shot surface of Europa, we only had one day, first day, to film all of it.
Very
So yeah, and then because we had to move on really quickly to the next one, but it took 3 days to build it. So it was a lot of pressure that first day.
Can imagine, but it looked great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, well, everyone, can you give Jacqueline a big round of applause?
Hey guys,
Um,
thank you.
I don't know if you can hear that. It's real short
Oh,
microphone.
it's okay.
But yeah, it's so great to see you. So great to share
Absolutely.
this film
Thank
with you.
you. Thanks
I'm
for
so glad
having
you were
me.
able to do it. Yeah, for sure. And yeah, email me that how to thing. I'd love to watch it, but I'm sure
Yeah,
it's
I would love to get it out. It's very informational too. You can get a feel. They were every time you turn around, there was someone at the camera in your face, which at the time I was like, oh, I just want to have a moment. And now I'm like, it's my favorite thing that I have this. It's so cool, like to look back on that experience. So yeah,
I
I'll
know.
send it out.
Congratulations.
Thank
And
you,
always
Dwayne.
great to
Thank
see you.
you.
We'll hopefully reconnect somewhere soon.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Somewhere. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you guys. Nice to meet
Bye,
you
everyone.
all. Bye. If you want to follow the film, Dwayne, or they want to follow like the adventure that's been wild, um, our film's Instagram is europa.film. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Uh, I don't know what producer made it, but I think that's what it is. And yeah, I mean, I don't know if we'll be at Utah, um, but we'll see. It's been a random kind of run.
There's Film Quest, right? In Utah is the big genre festival here. That's in October. It's probably too late to get in
I
that.
submitted. I haven't heard
Okay.
anything yet, but
Well,
you
hopefully,
never know.
you're in there. Hopefully you're in there. And if you are, we'll hang. All
Yes.
right.
All right.
We'll
Bye, guys.
we'll see ya. Bye-bye.